All right, man. Lonnie Bravo, how you doing, man?
And I'm blessed. I can't complain.
Already, man. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. So just starting off, let's tell the fans where you from exactly.
I'm from the north side of Houston. I'm from Acres Home. So,
4-4. Oh, yeah, already, man.
It was that +8.
Yeah, man.
I always keep it 100 though.
Hell yeah.
Nah, facts, man. So how was it growing up in Houston?
Man, it was. I'm gonna say wow. I think around the time I was born in '96, so coming up, I stayed in these apartments. I remember that's when like Bloods and Crips started like coming to take over Houston, and I think MS-13. So I was coming around like
that. Because Acres Home around that time. So
yeah,
that's where they all gathered at.
Yeah,
that's
and so
crazy.
from there it was just like it's either this side, that side, or if you wear this color, don't walk here. And it was crazy because we're not from Cali.
Nah,
facts.
So it's like.
So were you born and raised all your life down here in Houston?
For majority of it, and then I had got in trouble, and when I got in trouble, my mom was like, "You gotta go live with your pops."
Oh yeah, she's like, "You gotta go, huh?"
Yeah.
And growing up, did you experience any of the gang violence around you?
I ain't gonna cap, most definitely. Like, technically speaking, at a point in time, I was a Crip. Like, yeah, but I was like in the 4th grade. I was young, not just following the crowd.
Yeah. So you weren't really in the OGs looked out for you.
Yeah, it was more like a. Oh, he with us, like nobody touched him. So, yeah.
Is it from there? That's when you got into the rap game?
Nah, I actually didn't touch the rap game till like 2015.
Oh, so around high school.
Well, let me take that back. In a way, around high school, so like maybe like 2011. That's when I was like, okay, like I started writing, but I never put it to a beat. Like I was listening to J. Cole. That's when I first found out about Cole, Wale, Big Sean, and then Drake was even coming out, but I wasn't really on him then.
Yeah, that's around the mixtape for all them boys. Yeah, so they were just coming up.
That was when, and that was when Friday Night Lights came out. That's what actually got me through high school, and I was just like, you know what? And I had wrote like one little song, and that was it. And then I maybe like, in Texas, we all beat on the lunch table freestyle, but it never went like, I'm gonna start doing music. Never until 2016. 2014 I graduated. 2015 I shipped out to the Army, and then when I came, I was still in Korea, but like 2016 was like when I first started actually like, you know what, I'm gonna dive into rapping.
Okay, can you expand on when did you go to the Army a little bit?
I'm not gonna cap. My father kind of like breeded me into being like a.
It's not something you wanted to do.
Nah, it wasn't my first. It wasn't my goal was like make it to the NFL or the NBA. Like I was
like all of us,
but honest to God, truth, at that time, everybody was either hooping or football, and I was cold at football. But then like I was being rebellious. I was fast as hell too, but like I was being rebellious because my father was like, "Oh, you go da," and I was like, "You know what? I'm a hoop." Never touched a rock in my life until like 9th grade. I don't even know how I made the team, but made the team, and then it was just like, all right, I'm gonna go to the NBA. And then it fell apart because I was supposed to go to this JUCO, and then things ain't go plan, so it was like, I ain't got no backup plan.
Yeah. So that's exactly why you ended up going to the Army, just because, the JUCO didn't work out.
But and then I knew I was like not like average people. So like, I knew like, all right, it's either I'm gonna be an athlete or I hate to say this, but be a killer. And it was just one or the other. Like I had no hopes of like, well, I'm gonna just work at UPS, make this money real quick at 18, and then, like everybody else, I was just more like, nah, it's either, I was inspired by like movies like Special Forces and all that. It'll have like some type of, military movie, and I'll be like, yeah, it's either I'm gonna do that, or it's either I'm gonna be in the lead. Either way.
You ever seen the movie called Dead Presidents? With Chris Tucker in it?
I think so. It's been a long time.
Yeah, they had I think the black and white face, and Chris Tucker become a crackhead. But yeah, it's like a similar like backstory. He went out to the Army because he thought that's what he wanted to do. Then when he came back, it wasn't what he thought it was.
Yeah. It wasn't like that for me. I can say that like when I went, that's actually the stuff that I went to go do. Damn. Like I was just like, all right. I started off as like a regular police officer, and then from there went to SWAT, and then from SWAT to Secret Service.
Oh, so you moved up the ranks.
Yeah, so it was just like boom, boom, boom. Actually, I was like, if I'm not mistaken, I think I made sergeant at 21, which is fast, especially for a black man.
Yeah.
Like you don't make sergeant, you know what I'm saying, within, I think I made it in 2 years. And when I made it, everybody was like, wait a minute. So
you came in on your shit.
Yeah, it was more like I'm built for this. With my father molded me for it. So I'll
That's
say
what's
that.
up. Yeah, that's why we need black fathers in the household.
Nah, for real. Like I greatly appreciate my father.
So you came out, got out the army around what time?
2020, January 2020 was when
That's
I
when you hopped back into rapping.
That's when that's when I was like, yeah, I'm finna take this full fledged, like blah blah blah, and then the relationship happens.
I mean, when we caught you at the Press Junkie, Press Junkie, how did that come about?
Actually, I got Loud actually like reached out to me. It's like, hey, we want you before we send this to anybody else. We send this to you first, and like a few other of my friends, like they're like, we sending this to y'all first before we gave it to everybody else. So
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
It is like any rappers that inspired you. Cause we compare, like you said, J. Cole. So that's what we heard when you was rapping. Anybody else you can think of that inspired you to start rapping?
Kendrick, and then I mean I know
Top dogs.
It's like it's the top, but really it was I didn't get into R&B until like this year. Well, a little bit this year.
That's why you hear the Cole, because Cole can go R&B. Can Kendrick go R&B? I think he got.
He got that song "Love" with like Rihanna.
But Jake can say Cole, but he can go R&B.
He more of that, yeah.
That's what we see with you.
I forgot 50 Cent. 50 Cent. That's who really inspired me to start rapping. What was that song? Like In the Club, PIMP. But then it was the melodies that got me.
Yeah.
And then off the Massacre, it was Lil Mama, you show me how you move it.
Oh, yeah.
Better yet, put you. It was that, and that's when I was like, I could do that. Like,
So you talking about 5003 run with
I'm
In the
talking
Club,
about, like,
Mini Man.
Yeah, like, that's I was a big 50 Cent G Unit fan. Talking about the top, the shit, like.
Yeah. And from there, where did see yourself going in the next 5 years?
From right now?
From right now.
Man, truth be told, like, I'm a writer, so I do see myself writing for bigger artists.
Okay.
I do also see, within the next 5 years, I do see myself, like, just elevating. Like, getting up there, getting more exposure, and more of, like, oh, he really doing it, like, he's saying it.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm just putting a plan in. I made a plan, now I'm just putting it into effect. So this year, like, my quiet year, but next year is like, I'm gonna pop out and it's gonna be like, whoa, like, I wasn't expecting him to be sitting where he at right now. So next 5 years, I see myself probably on top Billboard 100. I see myself writing a song.
Talk your shit.
You know what I'm saying? I see myself writing a song for Drake. And
I was gonna say, any artists you wanna write for?
Drake. And the reason why is because I got so many songs, and not inspired, but like inspired by women that I know for sure will like fit his lifestyle. That he can be like, you know, if it's coming from me, of course, like it's like, oh, that's hard, but it's like if it's Drake, it's like, oh, that's even harder because it's Drake. He already got that, you know what I'm saying, platform.
With the topic of Drake, you know, the ghostwriter whole allegations. How you feel about that?
But you know, it's crazy. Like ghostwriters been around for years, so I found out like I do my research. So I found out like most ghostwriters. Somebody will be like, hey, we need you for it's called what they call like a work for hire. So it'll be like, hey, we're gonna give you 50 grand for you to write this verse for Drake right now. Yeah. And it'll be like, okay. And then you just go about your day. They give you 50 grand, boom. But a lot of people don't like understand is like that's been a part of writing. Like most singers, R&B singers.
Yeah, we heard about they most of their song. We heard Jay-Z wrote Dr. J verse. Speaking of the Super Bowl.
That or J. Cole wrote a few Jay-Z verses off I think Blueprint. It was one of the. It was like right when he got signed. I think it was like Blueprint 3 or one of them. Yeah. He wrote a few verses. That's why he was on The Stars Born.
Okay.
Yeah.
It makes sense. That's crazy.
So a lot, and actually artists now, everybody's favorite artist now. I know a female artist, or she's an artist now, but at first she was writing for all of them.
I know SZA was like that.
SZA, 7th Streeter, Nyjah, not Queen Nyjah, but Nyjah. She actually she wrote a song for Kehlani, Cardi B, Drake, you name it, like big dogs, big people, and she just dropped the project. But
damn,
yeah, so ghostwriting been going on for years, and people get the credit for it. Now the credit's being there, people just don't read, and I understand you're gonna think your favorite artist right, but to write so many songs and to do, unless you like an artist like me that's like nah, I really want to be it. Most of those are just entertainers.
I was gonna ask, so you want to lean more towards the writing than rapping?
I want to do both.
We do both.
And the reason why is because it's like I can give my good songs away. There's still money coming in.
Yeah.
But it's like I also know I got the face and the presence for it. So it's like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? I rap too.
Speaking of the presence, we one of our topics is jewelry. And are you a big spender on jewelry?
No. I mean, let me take that back. No, but like I am big on watches. So if I do spend money, it's on the watch. But I don't wear chokers.
So you don't think you need the rapper image?
No.
Okay.
Like I'm more like a code. Now you might, I'm not gonna cap. You might catch me in a double R, yours. But
yeah.
As far as like, oh bro, let me get that. Let me go to Jacob. You know what I'm saying? Nah. Like you might catch me like with a watch. I wear watches, but you won't ever. Like, my fans won't ever catch me wearing some off-the-wall stuff because that's just not me. It's never who I've been. So I'm not even going to fake it.
Got you. And so you would consider yourself more of a saver than a spender?
Investor.
Investor? That was going to lead to next with the topic. Because, crypto's becoming a big topic, a real hot topic. Would you take an advance in crypto?
No. All right, so I understand, OBJ and all them.
Yeah.
But you got to remember this. Just like the NFT is a scam. So the NFT is for, like, people who already got it. So say, like, Tory Lanez, all right, prime example. He make an NFT and be like, hey, I'm selling it for $1 right now to all my, you know what I'm saying? He only paid the $450, but he made $1 million because he already got 1 million fans. Now, if I do an NFT and I be like, hey, I'm selling a picture and also a song that come with it for $1 right now, maybe like 4 or 5 people buy it, I only made $5, but I spent $400 to place it on there.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Now, unless I have a big platform, it's basically to keep the rich richer and then have your fans come spend.
I didn't think about it like that. So you think it's a scam?
As far as like, certain investments I do believe in, but like crypto, I mean, it was going up, but I think it's plateau, and then now everybody's back to like regular investments, and then, but I think the biggest thing and the best thing a person could do is real estate.
Okay.
Real estate.
I always say that real estate, owning land or properties in general.
Owning land, I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't give my secret away, but nah, like colleges, right? You buy like maybe a duplex or you buy a few units there, probably be like maybe 20, 30 grand. But you get a 4-bedroom apartment. Now you put 4 people in there, but you charge them $800 to $600 a month. You paying that back quickly, and you making your money back.
So best thing, you'll be recouped your investment within 5 to 10 years.
Even lesser than that because you charging 8, and then fast for all that stuff they gotta pay you. Schools gotta pay you, or if you decide to do the government way, you buy an apartment and then you, I forgot what it's called, Section 8.
Yeah.
And then you automatically gonna get your money from the government. The other person just gotta pay the rest of whatever the rent is, which won't be a lot. So it just depends on how you take it and you look at it.
Definitely.
So that would be more like would it be more like buying a duplex?
I mean, well, duplex like it's just 2 units pretty much. But if you buy a unit, you can start with 1 unit. You know what I'm saying? Or you can start with like here in Pearland, right?
Okay.
My realtor, she's from here. When I bought my house, but when I came here, I was looking at land, and I was like, okay, maybe it might be some land around here that I can buy.
Yeah.
That they're gonna be like, oh, hey, can we buy this from you because we need to build up over here, stuff like that. Conroe right now is building up, and me and my homeboy was like, hey, bro, let's buy 2 acres. We buy 2 acres in an area that we know that's building up. Now it's like, hey, we trying to make this like a mall or something. Oh, we'll give you $100 grand for this. Nah, sit on it. Oh, but we really need this area because it's right in the middle. $2 million. No.
You can sit back and watch
the
price
you just
go up.
you just raise the price. And
okay.
That's when they like, okay, we really need it. All right, give me a few million. You know what I'm saying?
Also, I would say you can even go into the route of keeping it and just having them pay you residually for it.
That too. You can keep it and be like, okay, I'll let you put your stuff on there, but I want a monthly income, or I want like 2-3% on it, whatever.
I personally would never sell it just because you're not making no more land, so.
That.
Yeah.
And that like.
So
actually,
with that, you buy the land.
You just buy it and
sit on it.
And sit on it.
Just own it. You just pay your property taxes.
That. Well, see, I'm a vet, so the good thing about me, I don't gotta pay property taxes. But that's if you disabled.
That's big for rappers, especially black rappers, to get into the real estate game like that. And you seem like you know a lot. Is any advice that you give for up and coming realtor in the game?
I'm gonna give this advice for any black male, any young black male out there,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying, besides relatives. The best thing you can do is invest your money wisely and do not spend it on materialistic things. I know I just said Rolls Royces, stuff like that, but that's when the money is right. The best thing I can tell you to do, honestly, is if you staying with your parents right now, you 18. Now, if you 26 and older, you need to get out the house. But if you 18 and younger, you know what I'm saying, stocks, brokerage, bonds, all that stuff start now. So by the time you turn 25, 26, you already have 500 grand in the bank. I wish I would have known this as a kid because by then the money that I was making, whatever my parents gave me, if I'd have threw that $25, $50 in there, because they invest with you. They give you, you know what I'm saying? You do that, boom, boom, boom. By the time I would have graduated high school, I would have had at least 100 grand.
Man, only 26. It's all like an OG in the game.
Well, I pride myself on knowledge. So
Okay.
I never been to college. Well, let me take that back. I have done some college classes, stuff like that. But I'm more like, I'm wasting my time when I could read this book, you know, gain knowledge, and then people who's been around the world who's been doing it, millionaires, you know, millionaires that I met,
Watch what they
billionaires.
doing.
Learn from them. Sometimes you just be a fly on the wall, and they will give you the answers to what you need.
Man.
So
And I was gonna say that's my next question is on books. What book would you recommend, or do you have a favorite book that you read?
okay, one, if you're an artist, How to Get a Record Deal. That is a book you need to read because it would teach you the ins and outs of the record label. It would teach you the goals and the no-goes, and it would just give you more insight on about your publishing, you know what I'm saying, your BMI, ASCAP, all that stuff. And also how to negotiate a record deal. Just like a lot of these artists, they walked in and they get a record deal, but then they realize like, oh, what is this? What is going on? They get another lawyer from the outside who wasn't part of, you know, company, and they'll be like, oh, well, it was all right here. You just didn't read it. It literally clearly stated. So being able to read and also getting a lawyer that's not a part of the record company that will actually, and a real record deal actually go back and forth 7 times before an artist even signs it when it comes to being like with a lawyer and stuff like that. So just knowledge, and then Think and Grow Rich is the next book that I would give to anybody that I say.
These all on Amazon.
Hey, on Amazon, if you got an iPhone, iBooks, I think that's what it's called. I don't know, just get on there.
I'm sure check them out.
But they some good books.
Yeah, so since you've been in the industry, have you had any big artists or labels reach out to you?
So I had 3 I have been recognized by big artists, but I had 3 record labels reach out to me. 2 were here in Houston. That's a no-go for me. Actually, one was in Canada. It was like, and it was a big record label. It was Canada. It was well, they're under Universal,
Okay.
but it was Canada or something like. But it was a big record. But there was none but country stars on there. And I'm like, and I get it because of her. Like her is actually signed to Universal, but she's like on the country side. But even though they know how to work with R&B and stuff like that, but I just felt like I would have been the only black person they had on their record label.
You ain't want to put Lil Nas X. You ain't want to.
It wasn't gonna feel comfortable. And I did my research, and I was like, okay, they've been in the game for 20. They were legit, been in the game for 20 years, everything. But reading that book, like I said, if they don't have any connections on the R&B side or the rap side, then it's nothing they could do for me on the money that we spend. You know what I'm saying, to push it. Even the record company be out of money trying to push it like that.
What they call a 360?
Well, no, a 360 deal is more like I go on tour, I do certain things. The record label's getting all the money. Even if I get an endorsement, we helped you get that endorsement deal. So yeah, even though Nike giving you 90 million, we gonna take about 50 of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because we've been doing this going to 2 years now. We're trying to learn like most of the terminology of the inside of the record labels. What would they be called?
Talking about
What you was just talking about?
that's a 360 deal. Like a 360 deal is legit. Like anything, basically if they build me and make me a mega star, and I came from nothing. Let's just say they found me at 250 followers on Instagram and he's dope. All right, 360 deal. And the reason why is because it's a risk. It's like even though we know you're dope, it's a risk of us spending 500 grand on you and we not make that back. Now, if I'm an artist and if I'm like Russ and I'm coming with a fan base behind me and I'm already making 100 grand a year off my own music for the fan base that I build, now it's like a distribution deal or it's like a partnership deal of like, hey man, we can help you at least get this more and plateau, you know what I'm saying?
And that's, speaking of Russ, like that deal was why people call him the industry plant. Because they feel like he got a handout rather than black artists, we get more of the 360 deals.
But he bust his butt for that.
Yeah.
The reason why black artists get more than 360 deals is because it's like, okay, like this, right? I'm gonna be real. I already, if a label come to me and they be like, oh, we'll give you 100 grand, that's not enough. I already touched that myself. So it's like, a lot of these artists get a number. Oh, not knowing that, oh, we'll give you your advance. Your advance 15 grand. If you ain't never had 15 grand and you young, what you gonna do?
Yeah.
I need that. Really but you don't know you surviving off that 15 grand for the next 3 years.
Right.
Dang.
So the advance that they give you, now some artists, they'll get 100 grand. I think like, if you like Lil Baby them, you know, they was already moving a certain way and they had people behind them. So if I give you 500 grand in advance, you work it, that's still part of your hours out of the studio, mixing, mastering, the beats, all that stuff. That don't even come from the label. Dang. That come out of your pocket that they gave you in the advancement. Excuse me. So from there, it's like, now you gotta manage your money. Even then, if you be like, okay, I'm like me, I already own a house. So even if I would be like, I would put like maybe 30 grand away for living expenses. Okay. So I would just pay up on my bills and stuff. And then the rest, that way I could just come home and live without having to worry about a bill for the next, you know what I'm saying, a few years. But after that, it's like the rest of that money that I got will go towards pushing me, bringing all that money back so I can recoup it. Once I recoup it, you know, then the label will be like, oh, here's another advance. You be like, that's when you tell the label, nope, I don't want another advance. I want the money from, you know, what I just recouped over more because I know you just made more off of me. So it's all about knowledge and knowing and working and talking to them.
Definitely, man. And since you did bring up your house again, I want to say, do you have any advice for any first-time home buyers?
It depends. Well, for first time, I did it while single. Being a black male and doing it is kind of stressful. And I'm gonna just be honest because they was just like you by yourself, and
especially
like,
young.
Yeah, and when I first bought my house, I was 24. So it was just like, oh, we don't know. Like we don't know. Luckily, the VA and stuff like that. But if you don't have that, they're not gonna take you as serious because it's like. Unless you like a YouTuber or you somebody like you show you got money, then by all means. But if you like me and it's like you know you middle class coming in, they're gonna be like, oh, well we need this or we need that. Oh, you ain't got that. I give you the runaround, but the best thing I say is just remain calm.
The Army help?
The Army helped me, yeah, because of the VA. So you know they give me that, and then it's just like.
Oh, that's what the VA is. Okay.
The VA helps like it's a VA loan, so they'll be like, oh, we just pay this and you ain't gotta worry about it. So that's something I don't gotta pay back, but. Anybody else like 20% down, all that stuff, and then the closing costs, you gotta pay that. So
it's like you big in the housing game also. No, along with the real estate. Do you know what the NACA program is?
Never heard of that actually.
Can you explain it for them,
So NACA is basically it's a non-profit organization, but they help first-time home buyers get their home with $0 down, so no closing costs, no down payment.
Okay, so I didn't know it was called that, but I have heard of that. Okay. Like I have heard of like programs or grants, like first-time home buyers, they'll give you a grant and be like, we'll help you with this stuff like that.
So theirs is not a grant, it's an actual, so they're doing a bank loan through the banks, they're just helping you so you don't have to pay any closing costs or any down payment. And the catch is you have to be a first-time home, well, you don't have to be a first-time home buyer, but you can't own another home while in a program. So if you own a home currently, you have to sell it before you start the program.
Okay, but then if I'm buying, I mean, if you want to do that, like the only thing I can say is smart about that is like if I put it in somebody else's name and then I go to buy another house and then start.
And then also though, they do have requirements where you have to live in the home for 5 years. But the thing is though, I found out a lot of people go through the program and instead of just getting a single family home, they get a multi-family home.
Yeah, that's the smartest thing. Exactly. Do not buy a single family home. I got a 3-bedroom home and it's only me. No girlfriend, no nothing, just me.
I want to ask you about a HELOC. Have you ever heard of that?
Nah.
Home equity line of credit.
I heard of home equity line of credit, but I didn't know that's what it was called.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's just the abbreviation, HELOC. Right. But, I mean, are you familiar with it though?
Nah, like once I got what I done needed, it was just
like, then you was, okay, gotcha. I mean, that's pretty simple. It's just more so where you can take out a line of credit of the equity in your home. So say your home is $300,000, you take out a line of credit for that amount and just do any repairs to the home or spend it on another property or however you want to do it.
I'm glad you told me that.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
That's what we here for, to give knowledge back to each other.
Yeah. I'm glad you told me that.
I would definitely say look into it because there's a lot of banks that offer it. There's a lot of programs.
I like that.
Yeah.
Let's get back to the rap side of your game.
Yeah, I'm a man of many.
I like it. So, are you big on features?
You know what's crazy? The features that I do have, okay, well, like, I think the biggest feature that I do have is with a trap rapper, my boy 504 Domo, that's my brother.
Sure.
But most of my features come from actually like people that I know.
Okay. Like you said, like still on the cold tip, just get your family in there.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
So it's like people that I know for sure, we sound great together on the track. People have reached out and be like, hey, can I do it? And I'll check their music out and I'll be like,
You don't know.
Damn.
So my question is, have you ever turned someone down?
oh, many. Like, and I know it sounds bad. I know if they do see this video, I'm gonna just be
Tell them the
honest
price
with
go
you.
up.
You know what's funny is I actually I don't charge.
Oh, okay.
But like, cause I'm more about like the publishing and stuff like that, getting money on royalties and stuff like that. But depending on now, I kind of might just be like, until I get well established, I'm not gonna be like these other artists that's out here in Houston. Oh, you want to feature for me $300? And it's like, bro, you don't even know nobody.
Yeah, exactly,
we know the same people, so you charging me $300 for what? You know what I'm saying? You're not, okay, you got 500 extra more fans than me. So, like, you know, now, I can understand if I reach out to, like, Slim Thug, Kurt Cobain's, you know, Kiki, them.
Yeah.
Then, by all means, it's like, you're established. I'm on the track with you, and I get you in the video. It's like, your fans gonna go look at it, and if they mess with me, then they gonna be like, oh,
Exactly.
that's more, you know what I'm saying? I can understand. But if we on the same playing field, you pay for your followers, you got 18K, whatever, you should just be like, yeah, bro, we can make this great track together.
Right.
But
That's a big side topic real quick about people buying their followers. Are you big on social media?
I am, but only Instagram and TikTok. But I hate TikTok.
I was gonna say, so do you agree with some artists buying their followers? Do you think that it's the need?
To a certain extent, you gotta remember, like, record labels,
Do the same thing, right?
they do the same thing.
Streams and all.
How many faking their streams? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly.
so I don't mind it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. And the reason why I say I don't think there's nothing wrong with it, it was a point in time where, like, somebody got me, and then, like, I randomly got followers, and I was like, I don't like the way this feels because it feels fake.
Yeah.
And then I just cut it off
Okay.
because it was like, but at the same time, it's a part of the game, but at the same time, it's like,
It's not a need.
it's not a need, because at the end of the day, your genuine followers are the
Exactly.
people that actually mess with you. They're gonna come along. Like, I gotten so many followers from Reels. Like,
Yeah,
just doing the Reels.
That's where it's coming from. Like TikTok, it's both basically kind of the same.
Yeah, and then it depends on what type of content you put in there. At first, I was making goofy videos, and it was a whole bunch. And then when I started, like, okay, now I gotta put my rap videos on here, because people was just like, that. I lost some, but then I gained some, because it was just like, oh, you make music. Oh, he's dope. Like, all right, like, I'm gonna just stick around and see what he do.
Yeah. So, with you being from the H, what is your favorite part about Houston?
The women. Like, oh man, that's what makes the music. But
I was gonna say that's when it comes to the music coming
yeah,
in.
actually it was like I was listening to I forgot who, but they were saying like this jazz artist, like, he was like, life was good for him,
Yeah.
and he hired a woman to break his heart. And I was like, that's crazy. But
How that happen?
I mean, when his first, I mean, this is just like me. Like, my first album, my first project came from a woman broke my heart. That was for free. but now it's like I'm up, and I feel so good that sometimes I'm not inspired to write. Like, lately, I haven't been inspired to, like, write a heartfelt song or something. It's because it's like, damn. And at that point, I got what he was saying. Like, now I gotta give myself or fake myself with this woman, put some emotions in there to be like, oh, dang, that hurt again. I'm finna write about this. You know, so it's like, I get it. I'm not finna hire nobody. But
That's a big topic for artists. Also, the writer's block. Like Mary J, when she was at the Super Bowl, she was talking about how she couldn't write an album because what she's been going through for so long. But now, after she finally got her divorce, it's like you said, it's easy for her to write albums. Or even The Weeknd, when they get in relationships, people get mad. Like, oh, we not about to get an album for 3 years because he's happy right now. How do you feel about that?
It's true to a certain extent. And the reason why I say that is because Cole, I was watching a 12-minute documentary on his, it was on YouTube. And legit, he was saying at first, like, oh, I've done that before where I took a break from music. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take like a 3-4 month break, live life, and then I'm gonna come back. And then I'll get in there and I'll be like, boy, I sound like Curtis Blow. Like, I wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, this feel weird, or this is awkward. But he was making a point. He was like, it's like basketball. You put in the work every day. I box and I work out. So it's like I put in the work every day with working out and boxing. I got to do the same with rap. Even if I wake up, write at 16, it could just be whatever. Don't got around, just write. I feel like that. You just write it out and you just rap it out. You get in there, you do it, you won't ever lose it.
That's smart advice. That's smart advice.
With the writing, do you write more or is it more freestyle?
It depends. But I'm a writer. Like I love to write. I pen and pad and then I switch over, type it in my phone and go from there. But there are some songs where I have like freestyle. Like I got a song on my project called 3 with Motion. I remember like it was crazy. What they say, vividly. My girl was on the bed. Well, my girl at the time, I got a girl now. The girl was on the bed, and I was just sitting there, and this beat was just playing, and I was like, hold on. And she was watching YouTube, and I literally freestyled the hook. And then I think I was about to throw the song away until my boy like came to my house one day, and he was just like, hey, bro, what's this? And he hit play, and he was just like, oh, this hard. Like, some songs, like, I'll do that. Like, I'll just, all right, let me just get in. Because you catch the greatest moments sometimes when you freestyling. Yeah. So it's always best to be like, all right, let me hit record before I start going.
That's dope. That's dope.
So you said that you box, you know, I know you do real estate as well, and you work out. So let's talk about your clothing line and then any other business ventures that you tapped into.
I do got a clothing line, but I gotta revamp that.
Okay.
I have a website, which is actually in my link in my bio.
Gotcha.
But I feel like, yeah, you could do it now, but I feel like more hard copies. Like I feel like, so if I decide to go do a show, the best thing I can do is bring a few of my shirts with me or bring a few of whatever that I feel like. And then, you know what I'm saying, when I'm there performing, just be like, hey, here you go, versus me.
When that dropped, 2018?
Nah, I dropped that right before the press junket, 2021.
2020, okay.
2021. August 19, 2021.
Okay, that's why I got mixed up. Okay.
Yeah.
What did that bring out of you? How did that come about?
Man, all right. So we gonna backdate it to last year, February 19. The girl at the time broke up with me, so it was just like, some of them, well, yeah, some of the songs is from that situation, but it was like, I made a project called Hot Boy Summer, but I just wouldn't feel like, it was rap, everybody was loving it. I actually had a song that took off on there, but I stopped promoting it because it was like, I don't care for this is not me, even though it's still a good project. The Dawn After came about because I was messing around with this one girl at the time, and it was only like a few months after the breakup, and then it was just like, just don't get off of me, you know what I'm saying? And then I just started writing about the whole situation, and then I was like, what if I do a collab project to showcase that people that I'm an R&B artist, like to show them like, hey, I write songs and this is what I can do. Yeah. And then that's pretty much what that project came about. It was just like, I could show you I could do it, I could write for you, I could write for female artists, whatever you need, I could do it. And it showed them, the first song on there is called That I Know.
Yeah. And
that song, I actually wrote it for the female artist, her. And it was just like, if I were to give her this song, how would she sound on it?
So that's you writing songs. You got artists in your mind that you writing for before you do it.
For that song, it was.
Okay.
It was like my letter to her of like, you know, something that I know, something that I need.
There's really a lot of thought that goes into your music, into your work.
It's a lot of thoughts, honesty, and truth. Now some of that, okay, of course, it's like, all right, let me be cool real quick.
But it's still all genuine.
It's all genuine.
Exactly.
It comes from real life stories. So like, if I don't have nothing going on and my life is boring for the day, it is hard for me to make a song.
Yeah,
and it's because it's like, what we do today, play the game. I ain't finna rap about playing the game. Like,
So can you tell the fans and supporters the best way that they can contact you?
And the best way, if you want to reach out to me, is on Instagram at official Lonnie Bravo. I don't got Twitter no more because Twitter toxic. But you can definitely find me on Instagram at official Lonnie Bravo.
For sure, man. Now, also, before we wrap it up, can you give a message to the fans and to your supporters?
I'm gonna be real, y'all. If it wasn't for y'all, I would not be where I'm at today. Y'all actually inspired me to keep going and keep putting music out. Cause y'all slide in my DMs and y'all be like, bro, this is crazy. I like this song. Or I felt this way. Or what do you mean by this and this song? And it just inspired me to like keep going because the fact that there's people out there that is interested in what I got going on makes me feel amazing. And then also kids, like I didn't know that I was inspiring kids, so now I know for sure I gotta start putting the radio version out instead of the explicit version.
You gotta clean up a little bit.
I gotta clean up now.
Sure, man. Well, we definitely appreciate you for giving us your time and coming out today. We're gonna definitely tap back in with another interview.
Appreciate you, Lonnie Bravo.
I appreciate y'all for sure.